Hello and welcome to today's video or podcast, depending on what format you are choosing to receive this content from. Today we're talking about the K-drama that I finished watching, which was Strong Girl Bong-Soon. And yeah, we're just going to talk about that for a little bit. I did discuss a couple days ago, or actually I think that video went up earlier today, talking about K-dramas between watching them and yeah. Well, that was it, actually. The couple that I did watch and, parts of them that I watched. And I said in that, I didn't watch much of it. I should watch it. And between the time recording it and putting it up, I did finish watching it. So, yeah, I liked it. It's my favorite of the ones that I've watched. There was a lot of interesting elements to it. Between, you have your parts where they're all, the main characters are all romantic with each other. And then you have, there's really dark moments with the bad dudes doing the bad things. Essentially, the girl has super strong powers. She can pick up anything, and it's really easy for her to do that. That's the power that she has. It goes through the family, throughout the history of the family line. Every woman that's born in the family has this power. So that's how that goes. So basically, she just wants to be normal. She doesn't really want people to know that she has this power, so she kind of tries to hide it. And then she, one day is just going along, and there's a bus that gets stopped in a road by a truck. And the bus driver gets off, and, he's trying to get the people to move their truck out of the way. So she sees this, and, they're trying to fight the bus driver and the dude. It's like, nah, you're not moving. So she goes up and beats up all the people. And there's a guy back there who turns out to be one of the main characters. He's a CEO of a gaming company. They are a game developing company. And he sees her, and he's like, she's my bodyguard because he needs protection because there's other things that are happening. He's getting calls from people who it turns out to be his brother, but doesn't want to take over another company that his dad runs. So that happens. But in this situation, he sees her, and they have to go to the police station and say what happened. And then he sort of wants to talk to her and all this stuff. And that sort of starts happening. And she's applied to work at his company before. So eventually she sort of agrees to work at his company to try to get a position there. But yeah, so that happens. But in the process, in the neighborhood that she lives in, there's this guy going around who is kidnapping these women to marry them. He likes skinny women, so he doesn't feed them food for days or something. Basically, it's supposed to be based off of a play that they made, that it's this guy likes to marry 7 women that he kidnaps. So the guy was inspired by that, and he goes around trying to do that. So at night, a lot of the women have to, be careful to not get kidnapped themselves. So this is sort of going on in the neighborhood. The guy accidentally kills the first girl, and then he kidnaps one girl, and that sort of is the other sections going on, and the police are involved. But this guy went to the police station to report the crime, to install cameras to sort of know what's going on. So that happens. So this is sort of going on the side of the story. That's the other part that's developing. And then sort of go along, and throughout the episodes, the main characters, they sort of start to like each other more, and then the other part of the story where the guy ends up kidnapping another girl, and then the other part, the other 2 characters sort of fall in love more, and they're hanging out, and she's just well, the guy sort of likes her more at first. She sort of she still likes this other guy from school who's also involved with the police situation, so they sort of, that's how the connection is. And then the guy decides that he's going to try to kidnap the main character's friend, try to kidnap her, just because he didn't know at the time, and he just sees a girl walk by and he's going to try to get her. So then the main girl shows up and beats him up, or hits him, and he runs away. And, her friend gets saved. And they sort of continue on from there. And yeah, so a lot of stuff's happening in that sense. And that's sort of like the main part right there, is sort of trying to figure out where this guy's at. The police kind of know where he's at, but they kind of don't at the same time. They know that he's doing stuff at like a junkyard, but a lot of the stuff is sort of, the place that he's hiding them is hidden very well. So they don't really know where the women are at. So that part's happening. And then once the two characters, they really sort of like, they kind of start dating. The girl that almost got kidnapped, she gets healed from getting, because she got kicked and beat up, whatever. So when she gets healed from that, she gets out of the hospital and she goes out and she's walking at night to go get food, and she gets kidnapped. Or no, that was how she almost got kidnapped the first time. The second time she did get kidnapped because she was leaving. She was leaving Seoul. She was going to go to Busan to see her mom, and that's when she got kidnapped. So then that's when the things sort of get discovered more about what this guy's doing, because he takes her phone and records a video, and he's texting the main character. He's texting her and being like, saying all this stuff. So she gets the video that he has recorded and saying the girl, don't come save me, whatever, because she was forced to say it. And she, Bong-Soon watches the video on her phone, and she hears a noise of like welding, which when she went to the place, she would find, she's seen the guy welding, the other guy that's working there, was welding together some, car parts. At the same time the video was done when she was there. So she heard that, and she knew that they were underground at the place. So she ended up going there to try to save her friend, and, she starts throwing cars out of the way because, she's got her power. But in the process of this, when she texts, she thinks her friend, she says that she loses her power if she hurts somebody that shouldn't be hurt. Like, she can do it to protect somebody. Somebody, like the part with the bus drivers, right at the beginning, the bus driver was getting sort of yelled at by these people. So she could beat up the people, and it was okay. But she can't just hurt somebody innocent. So the guy knows this. So she gets in there, and she saves 3 of the girls. The one besides her friend, who gets taken out of this other exit by the guy. And then the other guy that's working there blows up the whole place, and they're able to escape or whatever. But, they sort of fire first. And once that gets all fixed, the girls go to the hospital, and, obviously they're traumatized by this incident. So, as this happens, though, Bong-Soon obviously wants to go find her friend. That's kind of the goal why she went there. Obviously, she wanted to save the other women as well, but she wants to find her friend. So, she gets a message, or I think she got a call from this guy, like, oh, come save your friend or whatever. She's like, you can have your friend back if you marry me or whatever. And she's like, sure, whatever. So she shows up at this construction site, and the guy has an elevator, but he has her friend tied to the elevator, and he sets down the elevator with a person on it that looks like him wearing the mask. So she goes up, and she throws the elevator, saves her friend, and then the guy that was on the elevator hits the ground, gets hurt. But he was an innocent person, so she loses her power. So the guy made her lose her power, and then, her friends, the CEO guy, who is like kind of her boyfriend, and then the cop guy, who she used to like, show up because, they're trying to protect her. And they're able to, escape. So, after this, the guy makes his escape, and the cop guy chases down the kidnapper, and, he crashes off the road into the water, and everybody thinks he's dead. So, that happened. But, Bong-Soon loses her power, and obviously she sort of has to deal with that for a while. And she goes back to work. She's trying to live a normal life because her mom lost the power as well at one point. And nobody in the family's ever regained the power. So, she's just trying to go about normal life, doing normal things, which she's never really done. She used to be able to, like, squeeze an apple and all, she can make apple juice, but now she's going to cut them up normally. And, just simple things like that people do. She had to sort of deal with that. So she goes to work, and, it's a normal day. So there's an interview with the CEO of the company, who's also her boyfriend. And basically, you know, he put out a thing saying, oh, I like games that I don't lose or something. So the guy, the kidnapper guy who did live, sees this article, cuts his hair, wears glasses, you know, changes his identity a little bit. He goes to the place saying he wants to do an interview again, pretended to be the person. So he gets in to the building, and he goes in and makes an announcement saying he's going to blow up the building in 15 minutes if they don't find him. So the whole place goes into lockdown. You know, they lock it down first, saying he's in, but then they evacuate everybody from the building. In the process, since Bong-Soon doesn't have her power, she gets knocked out by the guy who sees her and, you know, takes her to the top of the building, ties her to the building, sets a bomb on her. And once they get to the top, they sort of find her there, and, you know, the guy's run away. He's outside now. And then the CEO's, like, trying to, you know, he's trying to get in. He's trying to, like, get to his girlfriend and save her. And the bomb's got, like, you know, they're just saying, you know, she's like, oh, leave, it's fine, because she don't want to get killed. And he's like, no, I'm staying here. I'm staying with you. And, you know, he's like, you know, we'll die together. And then she's like, oh, she's asked to get her power. She's like, can I have the power to save him? And then, you know, like a big cloud appears of the sky, and she gets, like, light, and she gets power back. So she's the first person to get the power back. And she breaks free of the chains, runs through a door, and throws the bomb into the sky, and then it, like, explodes. And, you know, it makes, like, a firework effect over the building. So she gets her power back. And, you know, saves the building. So the guy, the kidnapper guy, he's obviously mad because he didn't get to kill the girl that he wanted to kill. So he sort of runs away again. And, you know, they try to just go through their normal day again. But then the guy calls and, you know, well, I don't think he called. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. But, you know, they want to find him. They want to get this guy arrested. So they get a plan. All through the characters, you know, get a plan. And all the main, you know, people throughout the story, they sort of connect together and all work together to try to kidnap the guy. Or not kidnap, but capture him. Capture the kidnapper, that's what I should say. So that happens. But in the process, he goes and buys like a sniper rifle. You know, he gets a gun and he buys it. And then the guy that sold the gun sort of, you know, says, oh, I accidentally sold him a gun. So he's got a gun, and they're like, let's, you know, set a place to meet up with him. So obviously he's going to try to kill Bong-Soon, because that's the goal that he has. So they go there to the construction site again. He sets up and snipes her. And, you know, they don't tell anybody that she's got protective armoring on. You know, she got body armor, so she can't die. And, you know, she gets shot and falls to the ground, acting like she's dead. So, you know, everybody's got their earpieces on, so, you know, the CEO runs up, and, you know, he's acting all sad, and then asks her, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. So she just lays there pretending she's dead, and, you know, the other two guys go chase down this one, you know, the kidnapper guy. As they chase him down, his goal is to escape by a boat. So he's at the port at Incheon trying to leave. So, you know, he's trying to get on a cargo boat and leave. So, you know, there's all the metal cargo things are going around. The police, or the cop guy is chasing him down. Well, the CEO's flying a drone, you know, letting everybody know, or letting the guy know where he's at. So finally they chase him into a spot, and they have one of the boxes go and block one way he goes. So he tries to turn around the other way, and the other box goes and, you know, shuts him off the other way. So then Bong-Soon jumps up, because she obviously lived, because he thought she's dead. So she jumps up. She's got walnuts, because her parents have a walnut store where they make things with walnuts. So she's always carrying them around. So she chucks a bunch of them at him. And obviously, since she's super strong, she can throw it really hard. And, you know, it hurts his leg. So he gets, and he tries to escape through one little exit he can. So then there's the cop and the CEO standing there. And they're like, yeah, you're done. So he tries to, like, hobble away as best as he can. Bong-Soon comes up and throws a big, like, box, metal, or a wooden box on him, and then he gets arrested. And, you know, once they interrogate him, he doesn't feel sad about what he did. He's happy about it, that he kidnapped these women. So that happened. And, you know, he's in jail. And then you go to the last, because this is all in the first 15 episodes, all this stuff goes down. That's basically that. And then the last episode, you know, it's kind of like tying up the end of the story. The CEO guy, you know, he tells Bong-Soon that he wants to be with her forever and gives her a ring. As they're walking down, seeing the cherry blossom trees and all that stuff. And yeah, that happens, and then they end up getting married, and everybody shows up from the story, and they're all taking pictures together. And then her whole life, she's wanted to have, or if she wanted kids, she wanted to have boys, so they didn't have the power that she had. So they end up having kids, and it's twin girls. Which she, later in the story, says she's okay with having girls, but they're twin girls. So both of them have this power that she has, and, you know, her whole family line has. And they try to get a babysitter for the kids, and, you know, they get punched in the face because this little baby doesn't know the power that they have. So, you know, the babysitter gets punched in the face, and, you know, her husband gets punched in the face, and the end of it, she jumps off a building and says, "I'm a strong girl, Bong-Soon." And that's how the show ends. So, yeah. I thought that it was a really, really good show. I can see why it's one of the most popular K-dramas ever, and why it's one of the most popular ones of 2017. So yeah, that's the thing. Apparently they're remaking an American one. It's getting remade in America. I don't really know how I feel about that. Apparently they're having Ronda Rousey as the girl in it, which I don't know how that would work. Because I think the point of the character being strong is that it's this cute, like, innocent girl who, you know, you wouldn't think is super strong. But if you look at Ronda Rousey, you can kind of tell, oh shit, she's strong. So I don't know how that really would portray that sort of vibe of the character. The other thing is I think it works as a Korean story, passed down from the generations for, you know, the whole history of one country, or one, you know, one region, you know, different separations of the area throughout history. I believe there was 3 parts of it, like 2,000 years ago or 1,000 years ago, something like that. It was separated differently into 3 sections. But you know what I mean? Throughout the history of the Korean Peninsula, I think it makes sense in that kind of like ancient book type of thing. Because, you know, the power is written down in a book. Basically, every person generation writes down in the book what they use their power for. And I don't really know how they work in America. I get technically it could be like, oh, the person moved to America from Europe or something and it's passed down in that line, but I don't know. I feel like it works really well as a Korean story. I don't know how it would work adapted into an American story. Especially if what I read about Ronda Rousey being the main character is true. I don't know how that will work. But either way, I recommend checking it out. It is on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, I recommend watching this show. And yeah, that's the thing. The next show I'm watching is going to be Oh My Ghost, which also has Park Bo-young, who is the actress who plays Bong-Soon in this one. So, you know, watch the other show that she was in. And yeah, I'm very excited to start watching that. I did watch half of the first episode yesterday, but I sort of realized I should probably do something else in my day instead of watching K-dramas for 3 days in a row. So yeah, that is my thoughts on Strong Girl Bong-Soon. And also, you know, summarizing it as best as I could. But again, I really, really liked watching it. Is one of the best things that I've probably watched, show-wise, just in general, of shows I've ever watched. I just really like the element between, again, how they had the romantic parts and then the dark, like, parts with the bad dude doing the stuff that he was doing. I definitely liked the combination of, you know, both things in there. So, I do recommend watching that. Yeah, so that's that. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you check it out as well on Netflix. And I know there's probably other ways you can watch it. But yes, I do recommend watching that. And yeah, so we will see you guys in the next video, podcast, whatever format you are viewing or listening to this content from. I do appreciate your decision to check it out. And we'll see you guys in the next one.